At this point, I'd like to, bring in, the ad folks in. I mean, Santosh, would like to bring you in at this point. I mean, do you think the Congress campaign is a direct dig at Modi?
No, of course it was a dig at Modi. There's no question about it. In fact, it goes on to explain the fact that, no individual can solve the problems of a country. I mean, so it very clearly is a dig at Modi in that sense. But it's not much of a dig because, you are, sort of then showing Rahul Gandhi in the, sort of larger than life and a whole bunch of other people sort of, flanking him, clearly who are subordinate. I mean, so this, the fact that, one person cannot solve the problems of this country is not a proposition. It's a lame sort of a exercise in saying that the other, in a sense acknowledges somebody else's strength. When you say that however strong an individual, one person cannot solve the problems of, in effect it is saying that. It acknowledges the fact that the other person is the presumptive front runner. And there is nothing in your own proposition that argues that the power of the collective has shown results. There is nothing in the Congress's style of functioning that suggests that it's a cohesive collective that has been working, meshing together seamlessly to produce wonderful results for the country. So, attacking somebody else makes sense on a platform if that is your strength. And if you can demonstrably show that to be something that, is yours. You are a dynastic organization where everything runs through the high command. There is no inner party democracy. On what basis can the Congress talk in terms of, collective leadership in any meaningful sense? So, it really, to my mind, it's the Congress not having decided what is its story.
Pops, are you in agreement with Santosh? Do you think it was a cardinal error by the agency and the Congress who together, maybe didn't do their due diligence directly or, decided that it doesn't matter if one term has been used by some politician at some point, as long as it is delivering the essence of the party?
Yeah, there are two things, one, you cannot blame because it's a concept, it is not a line, correct? It's a concept of we versus me, which exists, which exists all the time. So in that way, conceptually, there is absolutely no disagreement. But when you are doing a campaign of this size, you do a simple Google search of your line. So probably they should have done, that's a mistake done by both agency and then Congress before pumping in huge money. Now there could be, n number of debate that who actually released it first and then who actually used it first. But that's a futile debate, at the end of the day, people will say that one has copied the other.
Do you think, or would you blame the current creative output we've seen for the Congress campaign so far? Would you blame it largely on the client or the agency?
I don't know whether the client agency, there seems to be a huge effort which has gone through in this campaign, that they wanted to change the image of Congress by projecting Rahul Gandhi as a young leader. Even if you see that the entire thing, there is no pictures of all the old leaders, and then you see him, and then you have got real people behind him. So only line is something which looks like they had put it right at the end, because if it were to be the revamp of Rahul Gandhi's positioning as the younger, newer face of Congress, then they should have said it so. Somewhere it looks and then it seems that now both the agency and then the client has actually changed the campaign midway, and as the political scenario is changing day by day. So that's the feeling one gets. Now you cannot blame any one of them, but you have to blame both of them for changing the course and not sticking to the core strengths of what Congress is.
Santosh, would you be in agreement with Pops?
Frankly, it is not the agency's fault at all. Here you have a government that is clueless. Forget, and therefore it is not surprising that the Congress party in its, in what the Prime Minister says and what the ministers say, do not today have a story that they themselves seem to believe in. And in the absence of that, to point fingers at the agency is absurd. I think the agency has, if anything, reduced a non-proposition at least into something that has currency that can be remembered, that can be recirculated.
This is not the agency's fault. It really is the organization, the client. You're after all only as good as the client is. You don't blame the agency if the client can't figure out who they are, what they want to be and how they intend to get there.
Well, I can tell you, Sonali, that since Mr. Kaul believes that a flawed product should not be advertised, I'm expecting no advertisement from the BJP at all. And I think this is bad news for all the media buying agencies and the media per se, because the BJP should not be in the advertising space promoting Mr. Modi. I think he's the most flawed product that India's parliamentary democracy is going to see over the next 3 months, unfortunately. I think the reason why the BJP is extremely anxious is, and the reason why they have made this entire election campaign personality-centric, is because on issues they have nothing new to say. I mean, you have Amit Shah heading their chief commander of the campaign, who was in jail some time ago, who when he got bail, they celebrated it as if he had been acquitted.
Actually, the most effective election campaigns have been the ones where the coinage is very local, you know, coming from the streets.
All the big and creative agencies are not willing to do election campaigns.